What's up, everyone? Welcome to 5 Idiots Talking Toys live, coming to you live this Sunday night on YouTube exclusively. Thanks very much for joining us. We have a fun show tonight. We're going to be recapping the Morphy auction that happened this past week with the large vintage collection that was brought to auction. Something like over 400 to 450 pieces, mostly a lot of mint on card pieces, some other graded items. But it was a fun auction for me to follow online a bit. I know Brandon was following online, and John was keeping tabs on things. Charles and Christopher were there in person at the auction. They met up with some of our friends of the show. So we're going to have some of those guests tonight as well. But we're going to talk to Chris and Charles for sure, get their take on the whole thing, and what their opinion was, what kind of things they were looking at. Did they buy anything? Right. Most importantly, did they get any new collectibles? Any wins of the week from the auction house? And we're going to do the same with our guests as well. See what they were looking for. If they made some bids, did they come away a winner with anything? Let's bring the guys in right now. Charles is here. Lord Walden joins us. Gabbage. Christopher's here. And Brandon coming to us live from the West Coast. Guys, what's up? We're here with our next live stream.
Thanks for having us on, Shane. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Shane.
I want to say hi to TB. TB says hi.
Tuberculosis.
Hi. Tom Brady. Tom Brady says hi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
You were
Ross
out
is
in
excited
the
to see us.
sands. You were out in the sands of Mos Espa, I think it was, something like that.
And
you were
sands of
collecting his
Tatooine
retirement
yesterday.
sand. Tatooine?
Tatooine.
Well, yeah, but okay. Well, that's the planet, though.
So did you save any? Oh, there you go.
Nice.
You bought it? You bought it?
Free.
Oh, it was free. Nice.
Everything there was free. Free everything. My son got some action figures.
Fill in the viewers. What did you do?
Buttercup Ranger Station is where it's at. It's off of Interstate 8 between El Centro and Yuma. It's where a portion of Return of the Jedi was filmed. The sail barge and the Sarlacc pit scenes were filmed right off the highway in the sand dunes that are out there. And now it's like a place that people go visit, mainly to do people do a lot of dune buggy stuff and ride their quads out there because it's BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. So it's like public land for people to go mess around with, camp and stuff like that. But right in the middle of it all is where they filmed part of Return of the Jedi. So a lot of people don't know that. I didn't even know about it until a friend of mine that was actually in the movie told me that's where it was. And it's kind of funny because I've flown over it a couple times and I had no clue. So that's where I was yesterday. They had a 40th anniversary for Return of the Jedi. They played the movie out there. They had a couple people from the movie. They gave like a quick history, and they had people basically volunteer with Jeeps, and they were carting people out for like a 10-minute drive out to the filming set location and get to look around. Kids got to do activities, and then they would Jeep you back. And then they just had, stuff going on there for the kids and for the adults. So a lot of people dressed up, and it's a good turnout.
Nice.
Thank you, Brandon, for that long explanation.
Would you like to know what I did also for 5 minutes, and then John for 5 minutes, and then Chris for 5 minutes, and then the show's over?
You guys have no lives, so
what a life this guy lives. He's hanging out with movie stars. He's talking about how many times he's flown over different locations, scouting movie sets, hanging out on movie sets, and going to conventions in the middle of the desert.
Living the life.
Let me say it again. Brandon Alamo, a life.
30 for 30.
Yeah, the 30 for 30. Brandon Alamo.
I stopped
It's
listening.
our new segment, 30 for 30 on Star Wars.
I stopped listening at 9:01 p.m. So just let me know when you're done.
All right. So Brandon was busy. We were kind of following along with his video clips and pictures. Super cool. Charles and Christopher were somewhere this past week, somewhere in the midst of Pennsylvania, I heard.
There's the armpit of Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Denver, Pennsylvania.
Oh, I heard Denver's a beautiful city.
Beautiful.
Austin, Massachusetts.
What was it like Denver? Is it like really mountainous there? Like
lots of mountains, really great views. There was a lot of hiking going on. It was it was very exciting.
It's a stone throw from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where the Amish live.
Oh, Denver, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So
did you churn butter once or twice?
I wish.
Imagine Charles churning butter out in the middle of Pennsylvania. Chris is just buying up beautiful collectibles, winning loads at the casino, and Charles is churning butter.
Well, that's what Chris said happened. He actually lost money, and I won money at the casino.
I was betting loads, but I overall lost.
All right. Well, we'll get to that. Go ahead.
Let's just start at the start. So Chris and me were going. I was hopping in his car. We were following Charlie and Victor. So Victor gave us a walkie-talkie. So we had a walkie-talkie, and he had a walkie-talkie, and he was calling us the whole ride. Chris had, I think, 104 fever. He was sneezing, sick the whole way. I was like so scared the whole way. I didn't even want to go.
Were you really sick?
So I ended up getting sick like a day or two before. I almost backed out a bunch of times, but I pulled it through.
What a trooper.
I didn't get sick either, so it's good.
Must have been all that whiskey.
So I think everybody who's watching kind of knows the backstory, but the 30-second version is it's not even totally clear to me. There's a collector who had all these mint on card figures. It
was a find.
It was a find, except somebody walked into an auction house with it, and that's how they found it. But I don't know all those details for sure. I don't know that that's what exactly happened, but it was a large collection that whoever owned it, smartly hooked up with an auction house to, make the most of their investment in this. And there was just a huge amount of figures. And then there was some controversy amongst the hardcore collectors when the news came out, because there was news they were going to sell them in lots, like all the DT Lukes together and all the Princess Leia's together, which, for any collector immediately knows that makes no sense, because nobody can afford to do that and put those in their collection. So
the auction, the way it was set up was at the owner's request. So all the lots that you saw, every way that you saw it was at the owner's request. That is how he specifically wanted it done.
Okay.
Really?
Yes, it wasn't the auctions. The auction actually had no choice whatsoever. That's what the owner wanted.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, early on there was rumors that they were going to be in large lots, like multiple of the same together, and that threw everybody into a tizzy, because they wanted to be able to bid on one, because they're such expensive items to start with. So, now months later, the auction finally happened, and you guys packed up the family wagon and headed west for greener pastures.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what was your initial take on the place?
I thought the auction house itself was very nice, very clean. The people there were definitely nice, very helpful. Never been to one, so it was cool just to walk around, see all the items. You could look at anything you wanted to. There were people there taking everything out of the showcase. They wouldn't take it out of the acrylic, but they would show it, hold it in front of your face. You weren't able to touch it, and they would just go over each piece. No matter how many pieces you wanted, they would walk you through it and show you.
It's like a strip club.
So,
yeah. So they had all the stuff lined up. You had to sign in, sign up for your number. So I had a number, never actually used it the whole time, because the prices were just way over what I would spend. So
Or did you guys have any of the lots pulled from the case so you could see them up close? Or did you take part in that?
So
No.
we didn't, and hopefully the guy is not watching. But there was one guy who had someone following him around. He had him show him like every single one. He was going through the book. Someone snapped a photo of him. He's like, no photos, please. And then someone snapped a photo again, and he was just so mad. Someone's taking photos of him.
Yeah.
So we were sitting like right in front of him for the auction. I don't think he bought one thing that I saw.
Was he older or younger? Or?
No.
He's like
A little
younger than John.
Yeah, a little older than us. He was looking, or he asked to see almost every item in that case, but did he bid? Yes, but did he buy anything? I don't think so.
Yeah. I didn't see him buy anything.
Well, I did see the photos and some video clips. Obviously, we have some stuff on our socials. We have some clips courtesy of our friend Sam. They did a really nice display, all nice glass cases, everything laid out, to singly, together, so next to each other, so you could see everything really well. Everything was tagged and labeled. It looked like, so it looks like they did a nice job setting everything up. The live stream online seemed to be pretty smooth.
I think people love the book more than anything else. They were raving about the book that they got.
I never saw the book. Did you see it, Brandon, or was it like an
I saw it. I saw people showing it off when they got it in the mail or whatever. I printed out the whole thing,
looking,
or most of it.
We were looking for it. So Victor bought it.
It was $50 on hand.
We were all supposed to meet there right before 9, so we can sign in or whatever. So Victor gets there late, and then he buys the book, and so we were looking at the book like next to him. So it was a really nice book.
Okay. So anything else? Anything else you guys want to hit on before we bring one of our guests in? We have some guests in the green room, so to speak, that we're going to bring in and get their take. Anything else jump out at you that you want to share?
How many people were there live?
There's
not many.
30, maybe 40 was the most at one time. But so they had free food the whole time too, free breakfast, free lunch. They had a fridge,
all drinks.
Yeah, full with sodas and waters and everything. And then when you actually won something, there was a fee of 20%, and if you used your credit card, it was an extra 3%. So some of the prices you have to add that onto it.
How much, and with tax and all that too?
And then tax.
6% tax. So leading up to the auction, you were able to use your credit card for 23%. The day before, they canceled all credit cards and said that you cannot use your credit card. Meanwhile, everyone that was going there and live, we're already there. So the morning of, we find out we can't use that credit card. It's checks only. Well, I didn't bring a check. I don't have a checkbook.
Who's a check anymore?
I don't know. So I don't own checks. I don't write checks out. So a lot of people were complaining that morning, like an hour before. So then they re-switched it back to credit cards, but it was only the people that were in-house only could use a credit card.
So how do the people online pay? I mean,
they probably wired or whatever. I don't know.
No, they had credit cards for people online.
Did they?
Yeah, because they charged me $1 just to confirm my account. So.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
All right. Well, let's bring one of our guests in.
Sure.
We'll start with Sam.
Sure.
Sam's a buddy from the collector hobby. We know him from the IC and from the conventions. He's from up here, from where I am. He's down in West Virginia. So let's welcome Sam Sams to the broadcast.
Hey Shane,
Sam, what's up, my friend?
What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
Thank you, Sam, for having Shane have you on. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Sam.
I'm getting so many of these. Thanks for having us, Shane.
So, were you one of the ones to make a purchase, Sam?
I did. I didn't get anything out of the Morphes, out of the find. I got some of the AFA graded figures at the end of the auction. So
Okay.
yeah. And,
Did you bid on any of the find?
I did. I was the high bidder on a 12-back Vader for about 4 seconds. It was the most glorious 4 seconds of my life. Just ask my wife; she can tell you all about it. But no, seriously, it was the prices were way up, way high.
Yeah.
But
They seem to be pretty.
Yeah, I'm not one to bash them. I mean, hey, I'm a capitalist. That's people were willing to pay it. They're willing to pay it. I kind of went into it realistically knowing I probably wasn't going to come home with any of the really, really high end stuff. So
it's interesting because a lot of people haven't heard of that auction house, and people thought that they weren't going to go for that much. But I think that they hyped it up on all the right pages, and people found out that way. Because I've never heard of that auction house, and if they wouldn't have put it on any of the pages or anything, I think some of the stuff would have gone for a lot less.
And if Brandon hasn't heard of it, then no one's heard of it.
Well, the Morphy Auction House is a national chain of
Oh, really?
auction houses. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
John knows everything about auction houses.
John's going to be auctioned off at Morphe.
I like to dig. I like to dig.
I'll be kind of curious to see if they do any more. I think they obviously had a successful sale. I'll be curious to see if they, try to go after any other collections and jump back into it. I would definitely participate in more, in another auction because I saw with my own eyes, they're first class. So
Will they find any more?
Well, I'll tell you, the reverse is likely to happen. The reverse might happen. I mean, when there's some folks out there who sees what the prices went, what the final prices were, and they're sitting on some collection and they're thinking like, yeah, someday I'm going to sell some of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, they see that goes on, they might be contacting Morphe's already,
right,
for sale in the near future. So they might get a lot of business off of how well that seemed to go for the seller, So you said you bid on the Vader. Was there anything else that you had I mean, of course you're like us. You love all of it, but is there anything else you had your eye on that you were?
Yeah, I mean, for my personal collection, I've got a 12-back run. That's the only box I'm not a mock collector, but I do have the 12 backs. But all of mine are in like 70, 75 grade. I mean, I don't have 85 grade stuff. I just basically want an example of it. So my thinking was, well, if it goes, cheap enough, then I can sell mine to help pay to upgrade mine. And it just so happens Vader's kind of the one that I have that's got the lowest grade. So that's the one I was kind of looking to get. And there was 5 or 6 of them in the auction. So I thought, well, maybe one will slip through the cracks. And when, Tuesday night, when I went to bed, I kind of looked and saw where the prices were, and they were starting to rise, but they were still kind of within my range. But then when I woke up Wednesday morning and took a look, I knew how the day was going to go. So
yeah, the morning they just really rose a lot.
Yeah,
you bring up the Vader, which is interesting to me because there's one that went for 900. I think it was like a 21 back, and it was a cracked bubble, and I was kind of I don't think people really noticed that. Maybe not. They said it during the auction that it was cracked, but $900 for a cracked 21 back. And then there was a couple that went for pretty high that had mold all over them and the frosting that I don't think they did. I don't know if people noticed that before they were bidding. I mean, the only way you could really see that was if you were in person looking at it or online zooming into the pictures on their online little book that they had. So.
I just had someone message me while we're talking saying he was the one who bought the 12-back Vader. I'm not going to say his name, but it's just funny that while we're talking about it, someone...
Well, thank you, because I needed bailed out of it. I wish you'd have been at the casino with us afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna bring our next buddy in, Sean Burrell. Do we want to do kind of one at a time? We want to keep everybody in the
Let's
party
keep everybody
here?
Throw them in there.
Okay, cool.
Bring them in, keep them in.
All right, Sean, what's up, my
Good
friend?
evening.
Welcome.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, thanks for having me. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
All right, I do want to start with saying that Charles was the only one in our group that did not purchase anything at the auction.
That's true.
That is
He
about
might be
correct.
the smartest one of us all.
His wife will be happy to hear that.
Did he pay you to say that because his wife is watching?
I didn't make a purchase, and I was the only one who won at the casino. So sometimes you're 2 for 2.
Well,
the only
my
one that came out on a
experience
positive.
Yeah, my experience, I love the auction. It's the first time I've been to what I would consider a high-end auction. If you're, $45,000 for a DT Luke after fees is a high-end auction. But Sam had a good point. We were looking for some low-hanging fruit. My budget doesn't allow me to spend $5,000 on a mock. So I ended up with 2 decent figures. I got a 20 back, Sam people.
Let's bring him up.
Sorry?
Hold him up
Let's
closer.
bring him up into the center there. There we go.
So I got a really nice 20 back.
Nice.
And then I got a work.
Nice.
And I would consider, I don't feel I overpaid. I was out the door for like $1,100 with what I got. I'm happy with that.
Okay.
And just, when I hear the bashing, it kind of turned me off with everybody bashing online. I think everybody overpays for something. I think anyone who would say that someone who paid, $15,000 for a Boba Fett, I would say that if they have a $50 figure in their collection and they tell one of their friends would think that they're nuts. So I think it's just all relative to your budget and where you're going to be. I think, I'm a capitalist just like Sam, and I think anyone who's willing to spend something, if it's a value to them, it's a value to them.
Yeah, people want to buy it. They need it.
I'm sorry?
People want to buy it if they really like it, so let them buy it. I mean,
absolutely. I think everybody spend $8 or $10 for a beer at a concert. Are you overpaying? Yes, but is there value to you? And just like the ICC con, I went for the experience. I didn't know if I was going to buy anything or not. I did have my eye on some R5s, but they shot up above my budget. But I had a great time hanging with everybody, and that was more fun than the actual auction itself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. There was a couple things that I think I would have bought if I was there, only because I didn't feel like paying for shipping. One of the shipping boxes, Chris knows that I collect garbage. So one of the shippers, cardboard shippers, I went pretty cheap. Relatively speaking, I kind of didn't want to buy it after I saw it was probably going to be like $75 worth of ship. So.
Yeah.
But I think if I would have been there, same thing. Like, hey, I traveled all that way. I might as well walk out with something, whether it be a $50 book or a box or,
Yeah, I love how Brandon was watching pieces go for thousands of dollars, and the shipping is what broke the camel's back. Yeah. He's like, I can't do that. Oh my god.
Well, I didn't feel obligated to buy anything, but shipping was another issue. I thought the auction house was clean. It had a nice display. The auction room itself was nicely laid out. The flow was excellent. The food was good. The only drawbacks was the confusion with the credit cards and the shipping. What I found out was they were shipping these in the acrylic cases, and that was it. They were going to wrap these in bubble wrap, put them in a box, and ship them.
Yeah.
These people had no clue about shipping. Are they going to be upside down? If I'm spending $15,000 on a figure, I would hope it's going to be shipped another way than in an acrylic case. So when I found that out, yeah, so that's the bubble protection service now. But anyway, I had 2 friends that were bidding from Ohio, and I contacted them, and they released the items to me, so I was able to safely bring those back.
Nice.
And I was able to bring that Vader back that Sam got to at least look at before it got wrapped up.
I did.
No, that's one thing that they didn't really do a good job advertising was how they were going to ship the items, because usually they release it to like a third-party shipper and they'll just ship everything and you don't even know what you're getting from some of these auction houses. So were they shipping in-house, or were they releasing the items to somebody else to ship?
I think they were going to ship in-house. I think they had a couple dudes with ponytails that were going to
So the night before, we were hanging out in the hotel lobby. We were with Sam, Sean, Victor, Charlie, and a couple of the CAS guys, Ross, Chris Whitlock, and this guy Todd. And they were telling us how they're going to ship them in the acrylic, just wrap them up and ship them out. And all of us were telling them shipping a mock in an acrylic that's not graded is the worst way to ship a mock. You can't do that. Like, you should take it out of the acrylic, you should wrap it or whatever. So I guess the next morning, the guys from CAS actually did go and tell them, and they did pack the acrylic with packing peanuts. So instead, they don't want to take the mock back out of the acrylic because every time you slide it in and out, you can get edge wear. So they left it all in, and they did pack the inside with packing peanuts. That was their way
the bubble.
of packing it. So
To scratch
Not
the
as
bubble.
bad.
I wonder how many get damaged in transit.
we'll see.
I
We
think
tried.
we're gonna hear some stories of some cards that do get damaged. And I did ask one of the employees about insurance, and they said that they just highly recommended that you got additional insurance through an outside source.
Has anyone gotten anything from Hakes before? How do they ship their non-graded stuff?
I never bought anything non-graded.
Yeah.
By the time you get your GD collectible after all these charges and extra insurances, good lord.
So I just shipped out a ungraded mock to someone that purchased one off the page. It comes with an acrylic, but I take it out of the acrylic. I put it in a star case. I did put saran wrap on it. I did all that stuff, but I always take it out of the acrylic. The acrylic goes on the bottom, and then I put the figure on top with the star case. Because you never ship it in acrylic. It's the worst way.
All right, guys, let's bring in the next guest, the guy who also was traipsing around Denver with you guys. Charlie's here with us. What's up, buddy?
Guys?
Welcome.
What's up, man?
How we doing? Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, man.
How you doing, Charlie?
Pretty
Would
good.
you shake my hand? Would you shake my hand now? Oh,
No.
okay.
No.
Now you would.
What happened there?
At the casino, I was just cracking slot machines. Every
He was on
dollar I put in, $2 was coming out. I was on fire, screaming at the top of my lungs. And there goes Charlie, acting like he doesn't know who we are.
Oh,
and
wait,
he's walking
Shane,
around.
wait. Let me just explain to you.
Everybody's
I-
slapping hands. He wouldn't do it.
The whole
Wouldn't
entire
do it.
casino could hear him screaming.
Screaming.
Okay? And every time they did that, it would get like embarrassing. So I see him and they're high five, and then they would go to me, and I go, Don't do this. Don't do this."
Yeah, what's embarrassing is that he's playing slots. That's what's
It was penny
embarrassing.
slots, too. It was
You
penny
would have
slots.
thought
Penny
these guys
slots.
won $1 million with the way they were going. It was
He was high fiving with all the old ladies that were there playing their slots.
ladies
smoking
came over to
cigs.
Oh, the old ladies were waiting.
He
for
won
it to get out.
$3.66.
I
Char-
never had so much fun in my life watching someone. I typically don't even look at a penny slot, and I had the best time. It was great.
That was good. It was good.
So, Charlie,
Especially when
what
that
was your...
when security came and told us to quiet down because we was disturbing the rest of the casino.
Yeah, that really happened.
Multiple times.
So, Charlie, what was your take on the auction? How was it compared to what you expected or maybe thought it would be? What was your take of the place and how things went over throughout the auction?
Well, first, I expected a bigger turnout. I didn't think that there would be as few people there that there was. I was under the understanding that once you got there, you couldn't bet if you wanted to do it online, but that was not the case.
I think what you're saying is there was a word going around that they were going to cut off the online bidding with maybe 15 minutes to go or something. But Brandon, you saw what I saw, right? You saw bids coming in till the very last second, internet bids, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
he was like this.
He was somewhere else.
He's on a different podcast right now.
So, Shane, to answer your question, we were told that they were going to stop bidding 15 minutes prior. It was going to be in-house bidding only. And
No, that's not how these auctions work.
But that's what we were told, Brandon. You weren't there, so you weren't told. Okay? We were there. We were told.
So this is probably my third or fourth,
And that didn't
auction I've
happen.
been online for, and every single one of them has people there in person. They have phone bidders, they have absentee bidders, and they have online bidders.
Online,
And the only
yes.
way you have their online bidders through their platform, which is usually on their website. Every single time I've been in an auction, they never take the in-person bidder because usually the online people bid way more.
I would think so, yeah.
The fact that they told you that they would close the auction 15 minutes for and only do in person, they would never get the prices that there are 20 something people there. They'd be like, no, we got to open this up.
No, I think what they were saying is the online auction ended at 15 minutes beforehand, and then you had to switch over to their other platform,
To their live platform?
the Morphe
Okay.
live platform. Yeah.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
you mean there was like a web page where you could submit
Right.
a high bid or just a straight up bid or something? Okay.
Correct.
So there was somebody that was streaming the whole thing. You could see on screen. You can see the guy with the gavel, the auctioneer, and then right next to him, you can
There's
see
no
like
gavel.
the
There's no
price
gavel.
or whatever. I don't know.
There was no gavel.
Okay,
I was
his
actually
shoe.
looking. I was
Was
actually
he slamming
looking.
his shoe on the table?
I was actually looking for a gavel. They didn't use one.
I was
He had a
disappointed by
fly
that.
swatter.
So you have to use their Morphe's live auction thing on their website. That's how you.
It's
do
more. It's Morphe too. There's no S at the end.
Sorry, morphine. You got to use the morphine live.
Brandon, you weren't there. They were there. You were not there.
I wasn't there.
You were in the desert, Brandon. You weren't there.
Brandon was collecting sand from freaking Tatooine over there.
From Tom Brady's retirement.
Tom Brady's retirement.
You guys
I was
think
on the
if they
phone
went
with Tom
through
Brady
Hakes,
during half the damn thing.
you guys think if they went through Hakes, they would have made more?
Yeah, because AFA would have graded them and overgraded them for them.
Yeah.
That's why. No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Well,
No.
I mean, I think it's easy to say yes only because Hakes is a known vintage Star Wars auction house.
Yeah.
They do it, about at least 5 or 6 times a year, or at least quarterly, 4 or 5 times a
I'm
year.
sure they do quarterly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have to say yes just because there's a lot of collectors out there that follow every auction, on the calendar that they do. And to speak to one of the points from before, you get them when you have the online component of this, the word spreads around just to enough people. You're gonna get people in there that have money, and they're like, they're not collectors of Star Wars. Maybe they're collectors of other stuff, but they get word of it and they're like, oh yeah, I used to have some of those when I was a kid, and they jump on. They have no idea what anything is worth, and they see a Princess Leia and it's at $8,000, $9,000, $11,000, and they're like, that they believe that's the price because there's other people bidding. So they say, well, that's what it must be worth. I'm going to win it by just an extra 1,000 or whatever it is. And that's how you get the high prices and things get overpaid for, because you get non-collectors who don't know the values, but they're excited and they have money to blow, $4,000
Chewbacca, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chewbacca.
My question to you
and
guys that were
C-3PO.
there, that saw the
You weren't there, Brandon.
DT, well, that's why this question is for Charlie, Sean, and Sam, the ones that were there. Did you guys see a difference between the DT Luke mocks? Like, why did one go for 35,000, 36,000, and why did one go for 22,000? What was the difference?
Well, the one that went for the most was the worst of the 5. That's what's crazy.
The picture in the book looked really bad. Charles did show me the video of it, and it didn't look that bad in person, but I think the bubble was still starting to turn yellow, and you couldn't see the saber that well. So I was just wondering why that one went a lot more.
Someone told me that all the DT Lukes are on the A and the C backs, and he thinks that one was a B back. It was like an error one. I don't even know what an A is, a B, or a C, but that's what someone thought.
I heard that the guy that bought it was a Japanese businessman. Somebody had told me.
Somebody was watching the auction numbers, and they said that all of the FETs and all the DT Lukes went to 4 different bidder numbers. I wrote
down 3 of them later on just to see, because I was expecting. I heard a rumor that one person was going to buy them all to keep them all together, so I wanted to see if it was true, and it wasn't. There was
were you
different
there?
numbers.
Were you there, Brian?
Yes. I was in Charles's luggage.
All right, guys, let's bring in our final guest for the live stream. The one, the only, Uncle Victor is here.
Oh, he's here?
Uncle Victor, how are you?
There he is. You told him 7 cents.
Want to drink my?
The last time I saw
my
Uncle
God.
Victor, he didn't even know what Star Wars was. Now he's drinking out of a BB-8.
Show me your collection, Vic.
Hold on. First of all, what we got going on over here?
What is this?
A little
The
bit of
turtles,
Star Wars
yeah.
going
Turtles.
on.
The Turtles video
Nice.
game. Nice.
Video game with some Star Wars in there. All right, let's see. Let's see if I got anything for
It's
collection.
not a collection tour. This is a Morphe tour.
He thinks it's a collector's corner now.
Yeah, show us what you bought for Morphe.
Jeez.
Look what Chris and Charles did.
Jesus.
Did anybody talk to Vic about this before tonight?
Look
I
at
mean, did we
Listen to
tell
me.
him what we were going to be doing?
Well, this was
All
like
right, so
the
I was trying
casino.
to show you
Let's
what I
do
bought.
roulette. Let's do
I
slots.
bought all this there. Okay.
So
Let's just do
so
slots.
for
Let's
anybody,
just do it.
so for anybody who's watching tonight, Victor came to the ICCC in April of this past year, 2022, and hadn't collected anything, Star Wars in his life, and so now here we
He's
are,
like, what's a Star Wars?
8 months later, and he's got the display cases and museum quality items.
We found out that he's related to Chris. It's Chris's uncle. So
Charles's uncle.
I don't know what happened.
Whenever you're ready, Victor, we're going to talk about Morphe Auctions.
Should I
Yeah.
go downstairs to go do laundry? Should I go downstairs to do laundry? I got Star
No,
Wars. I don't know what you
no.
Morphe's?
Tell
What
him
did you
tell
buy at
us what you
Morphe's?
bought, Vic.
All right, Victor, sit
Did you buy
down. Let's
that-
go.
All right, I'm
Did
ready.
you buy that plaque at the Hobby Lobby outside of Morphe's?
What time did you start drinking today, Victor?
It's Morphe. It's Morphe. Morphe.
That's right, I was there.
Morphine.
Yeah.
It's not.
Right.
Listen, it's not whiffs when you only have one, and it's not Morphes when there's only one. It's Morphe.
Oh, Morphe. Gotcha.
Charles hates plurality. He hates it.
Hold on. I got to read my book.
Actually, that'd be possession. Morphe's.
Let me see what it is. Hold on.
It's
Sorry,
not
I'm
an
just reading.
apostrophe.
Oh, he got the book.
I'm
So
just
Victor
reading.
showed up to the auction about an hour late. Me and Charles got there at like 7:45, early in the morning, and Victor shows up an hour late, buys the book, and then that was pretty much it.
All
Oh,
right,
just like
first
he
of all,
showed
I
up
was
late to
at
this live stream.
All lies. Incorrect. Let me get close. Incorrect. Incorrect.
What do you got, Vic?
What'd you buy at the auction?
But first of all, we were there at 9:02, and it started at 9. Just want to make sure that's clear. And the first person out of everybody to bid on something, yeah, that was me right here. Just want to let you all know that was. Just want to let you all know. Just wanna let you know.
All right, so
watching
Victor, so what did you think? You got the book when you came in, but
Yes.
what were your expectations going in? I mean, I'm not criticizing, but you're a newer collector.
Yes.
Less than a year.
Yes.
I'd be like completely out of my element walking into a high-end auction, an auction house, but I would enjoy it. So what was your take on it? What was your experience?
I actually felt really comfortable because I watched Storage Wars.
Yeah.
It was ready. So as soon as I got the piece of paper that said what number I was for bidding, my yup was extremely loud and perfect. They were like, "Oh my god, I hope this guy buys everything."
I think I heard your yup.
We heard it
I'm watching
online.
the live stream.
Not
We
only
heard it
did they
online.
hear it at the auction, but as Charles mentioned, we were slots slayers, and they heard us all the way to the bathroom. We were just
Embarrassing.
hitting the button. Yep. Charlie, you weren't. You left me. You left me.
You weren't there, Charlie. You weren't there.
You weren't there.
Oh, I was there.
You
I
weren't
was
there.
watching from
So
afar.
Sean
Victor,
was
did you-
there. He was my wingman. Sean backed me up. Sam,
Victor, did
Sam,
you
forget it.
did
Sam's
you
the
win
best.
anything at the auction?
I did. We did. I won.
Okay.
So you get this really cool receipt here. So I did bid on a couple of things. I don't
Okay.
know if you can see that.
A couple. God.
Just a couple.
And we know where you live now.
This was
too,
the
so-
first one.
Yeah.
I can see your credit card number.
I see your credit card. Thanks.
Oh, that's cool. You know what? Just buy it. It's cool because I want it. So just buy it. It's all right. I'm not even. They
So-
won't even dispute it. They know that.
So
that's
tell
how I
us,
roll.
what did you get though? Just give us a.
So I bought a couple of mocks. It was the
Dignitary?
lot of the three mocks of the Power of the Force. It was the Barada, the Han Carbonite, and Imperial Dignitary.
Okay.
I'm
Nice.
hoping that'll grade very well. We submitted it for grading,
Okay.
and I'm very excited about those. Charlie, right?
Nice.
Charlie,
Yeah.
this is good.
The Barada should The Barada should grade, I would say, a 15.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm excited about that. 15, I'm very excited about. Very excited.
Wait, what did Charles get? What did
If
he
you
get?
if you've ever skateboarded at a skate park and there's like a half pipe, that's what Barada looked like, a half pipe like that.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I loved it.
What did I buy? I ate the Sloppy Joe. This is 100% the truth. I ate the Sloppy Joe for lunch. I could not hold it in.
Yep.
I had to use the bathroom, and I left.
Sheets for dinner.
That's exactly what happened.
All right.
And everybody saw you, Charles, work in the CAS booth. That was fun.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
They are like awesome guys. All three of them were just so good. Really nice.
I love how Charles is like best friends with multiple owners of CAS, but none of them work at the business and can help him out with this.
So I just
Well,
He's like, I have something that broken shipping. He's like, they're like, we don't work there.
well, it got taken care of.
I know. I'm kidding. They're very nice, and it sounds like they were very understanding.
that was the 3 that I got right there.
Nice.
Look how nice. So the half pipe thing, I don't know what he's talking about because I just saw the picture and it looks beautiful. Beautiful. Hold on, I need a drink of water for my BB-8.
Yeah, Sean
Victor,
and I
you should take the book and the receipt and send it to CAS for grading.
I
Yes.
think I might. That's a great idea, actually. I think this book is going to be a part of history. That's what I think. I think you guys all missed out on that. I saw that find. That's going to be a good find. Let's see.
All right.
I saw that find.
All right. So everybody who's watching this, we appreciate you hanging with us. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like this video. Comment. You're commenting in the live stream. This video is going to be posted onto the channel to watch. Again, for anybody who missed it, if you want to check it out again later this week, feel free. Please comment on the posted video as well. Those comments will stick up permanently, and you can like that video that gets posted as soon as this live stream is over. So we appreciate that. For everybody who's watching, give us a couple of questions in the comments. Do you have any questions for the guys who were there, whether it's questions about the auction or the story behind it? Give us a couple of questions to wrap up this live stream with. We're going to go for a few more minutes here.
I do have one question.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
I just have one question. Giving the Hex auction always has influence over prices and stuff like that. How much do you think that the Morphe auction is going to have? How much influence do you think they're going to have over what people perceive their figures to be worth?
That's a really good question.
I mean, will they be worth more because they came from that auction house? Is that what you mean? You mean, will they be worth more because they're from that
like you were
auction
talking
house
about earlier. People see the prices of these things that go for in the auctions and stuff, and then they think, "Oh, God, I've got that figure. I'm going to ask this for it on Facebook."
Oh, I see what you're saying. Will there be
all the values went up.
Well, I was I was excited for that. I saw that. I was like, "Whoa!" They were going crazy. I mean, a lot of the stuff was just more than I remember even leaning over, I think, to Charles and Chris saying, how much is that? Like, is what the hell's going on here? It's just going crazy. What's going on, right? I think it was Chewbacca's were going like they were like gold. Like
Chewbacca, C-3PO.
3PO.
Yeah.
I mean, they were nice. They were nice mocks. I mean, these were beautiful. They were like museum quality.
So, like, for instance, with the Chewbacca figure, if someone has a Chewbacca on the card, and what do those typically sell for?
Garbage.
$750.
Garbage. So, John, during the auction, the stuff that was part of the Morphe find, 12 C-backs were going for $4,000 ungraded, whether it was a Stormtrooper, a Chewbacca, C-3PO, whatever it was.
Just because it was part of the find?
Yeah. So after the find was over, there were other items for sale that people piggybacked onto the auction and sold other items. So there was graded 12 backs, a 12-back B Stormtrooper that was graded in 85. It sold for half the price of what an ungraded C-back went for. And this one was graded in 85. It sold for like $2,000. But the ungraded one was over $4,000.
Do you think they just wanted it because it was from Morphe's?
Yeah, that's all it is. I think it's going to be known as a piece of history. I think in the 40 years, how many finds has there been of 400 mocks with 8 Boba Fett 21-back cards and 5 DT Lukes and 24 Yoda debut cards? How many of those finds has there been? None. So, I think people just want to be part of it.
Yeah.
And now I'm part of history because I got that.
You are a part of history.
Yes, Victor. You go down forever. History.
With the burrata.
Well, I think something
Here's the
that's
burrata.
important to talk about would be
Normal burrata, Victor's burrata.
Uncle
Wait,
Victor's
Sean,
going
I
to be
think
the
Sean's into
annals
this
of
one.
history. It's Star Wars legend.
Well, I think something that's important to think about is not everybody that bought these were investors. These were collectors. So these are people that wanted to add things to their collections that they didn't have. And sometimes you just pay a little more for what you really want. Maybe you want it in a little better condition. Maybe you're looking for something special. On my mocks, I don't care what the cards look like. I just want clear bubbles. But if I saw something I really, really wanted, I would pay a little more because I don't have any plans on ever selling it again.
Well, that's kind of like art, right?
Absolutely.
You decide what you want to pay for it. That's the value that it is to you. It's art, and that's what this was. This was an art. That's how beautiful they were.
Yeah. Well, the same people I got, I'm keeping this forever. I'm never going to sell this. I bought this fork with the intention on reselling it because I got a good deal on it, and I could flip it and make a couple bucks. So there were options like this one there where you can take and resell. So not everything was crazy overpriced.
I guarantee that Tuscan Raider is going to be for sale next week on the IC.
So Ross's question, they were about, at the peak, they were about 30 or 40 until the sloppy joes were served, and then I think it went down to probably 20.
Yeah.
I got to say the sloppy joes were amazing though.
They were.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They were
awesome.
They were very good.
Charles, were they amazing 10 minutes later?
Yeah, felt so good.
Was it still sloppy? It was still sloppy.
It came.
Felt amazing.
It went in sloppy and it left sloppy.
I can't believe Charles wasn't feeling well after driving 4 hours in a car with his brother that was sick. I can't believe it.
Who got COVID from the auction? Anybody?
So far, nobody.
They'll be getting tested in about 3 days.
To be honest with you, it wasn't the auction. It was the after party at the casino is what we should be worried about.
Yeah. And the extra 30-minute car ride that I made us take by going the wrong way on the Pennsylvania Turnpike at 2:30 in the morning. That was
that's true.
Yeah.
What was that Victor doing?
We went to the casino after. I got confused when we went to the casino.
So
What was
Victor
doing? The ski man? The ski
So
man
Victor
or something?
was So we were playing craps, right? It was me, Sam's, and Victor playing craps. Everyone else was just hanging out watching. And Victor was rolling the dice. He was screaming, going, "I'm on fire! The floor's on lava!" And then he was doing like a skiing move, like as dancing. And it was just everybody wanted to be part of the Victor show. Everybody.
Not me.
Not me.
All right, guys, we have a question. What item went for the highest and what went for the lowest? We don't have it in front of us, but Brandon, you were keeping an eye out. What do you guys remember?
The highest was the last like DT.
Yeah.
DT Luke for 36.
36,000.
36,000.
Yeah, 36, and you add the fees on, it's well over 40,000.
Yeah. And what about the lowest? Was there anything? Let's just maybe focus on the mocks. Was there anything that went low that you guys were a little surprised by, or?
I honestly think it was the one that Warwick that Sean got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that was just a few $100s. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Hey, how much did the Batmobile go for? Did they sell a Batmobile?
We weren't there
Not
for
that
that.
fast.
As
So-
a Wednesday?
Apparently, they sold a pack of cards from 1952 that might have
Yes.
a metal in it that went for, before that went up for a bidding live, it was at 750,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
What did it? Does
we
anybody
struck
know what it
up,
closed at?
other cards that we struck Young.
Yep.
So, guys,
Well, that
Ross
was part of a different auction, though. Even though same auction house, that was just a different owner.
Yeah,
But
different
someone
day.
said that owner owned 2 of those and intentionally opened one, but one of them that he opened, he had more money in the value of the single cards that he found than what that pack of sealed cards went for.
Wow. So, guys, if price was totally no issue, what's the one item you would have liked to walk away with? I'm going to ask the 5 idiots on this so we can keep things moving. For me, I would have loved to have one of the the 12 back Leias. Chris will be the first one to tell me if I asked him. I can do that eventually down the line for much cheaper than they went at the auction. So it wasn't something I was like foaming at the mouth for. Like, oh my god, I would love. Like, they're out there. I can get one of those, but I would love to have one of those. What about you guys?
If it was no option for me, I would have went with one of the 12-back R2s. I love how beautiful that figure is. I like how it's got the chrome, it's shiny, the black, the white, the blue, the card. It's just such a beautiful card.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, what were you keeping your eye on the most? Like, what if money was no object?
Money was no object. I think I would, like a DT Luke on mock, but since those were really high, the one thing that I was bidding on that I really wanted was the clear bubble Return of the Jedi mocks. Mm-hmm. That there was a few of those that were for sale that I liked, especially the Han trench coat clear bubble. I mean, some of these aren't super rare or anything, but those are the ones that caught my eye the most were the clear bubbles. Yeah.
And it's easy to fall into that answer, to say, oh, I want, I would love to have the DT Luke or one of those expensive ones. And it's like, well, do I really want that, or do I just want it because I know how rare and expensive it is? That's the trick. John,
rare.
John, what about you? What would you love to have on your shelf from what you saw there?
It'd probably be the DT Luke.
Okay.
John hates Star Wars.
He loves DT Luke, though. We know that.
Yeah.
Low hanging fruit. Yeah.
Charles, what about you?
Mine would be the Yoda case, 100%.
Okay. And Chris, what about you?
I was going to say the Yoda case too, but now since he said it, I'm going to say the Warwick that Sean bought. I really wanted that one.
Oh my god.
Barada. I would say anything that was white, because the bubbles were so clear that the white on the figures was so beautiful. So that's anything like the R2 or Leia or a Stormtrooper even went for high prices because they were just like mint condition.
Yeah.
Some arguing in the comments here.
Yeah, Todd and Josh are arguing with each other in the comments. All right, guys. Well, I think we're winding down here. I think we would all love to sit here for another, half an hour and chat. We're going to wrap up this live show. I'm sorry I missed hanging out with you guys. I'm only about.
It was a good time.
A little under 3 hours from there, but it was a Wednesday, first day of the month, my first week of the month. I can't just not. I take off of work and all that stuff. I couldn't get out of the house on a Wednesday, but I would have loved to be there. Hopefully it'll be something else. It was a bad time of the month.
So bad time.
Yeah. So hopefully there'll be something, not this exactly, but if there's something else where you guys are willing to travel and I'm willing to travel a little bit.
Yeah, at the ICC
show coming up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But even the 5 idiots, I mean, even the 4 of you guys, I only get to see you guys once a year at this point, so it would be nice.
That might be enough, actually.
Well,
we've only known each other for a little over a year, and Shane's already like, I never get to see you guys.
Well, you know what? Because it seems like something like a Yankee game or whatever would be easy, but it's hard to coordinate, We're a couple hours away from each other, so.
Well, we could be called the 5 idiots and the 4 morons.
Very good. Very good. Well, thanks very much to everybody for tuning in for this live stream. We appreciate you. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. At least one a month is what we're planning. We're going to have a couple of guests that we'll interview each month, and, of course, some topics. And our Wednesday Wins and Whiffs of the Week will be out every week on Wednesday on YouTube only. The other episodes will be on your favorite podcast as well. But the live streams and the Wednesday episodes will be on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Like the videos when they come out. We appreciate that. And comment, though, because we will respond to you. We want to interact with anybody who's watching the show. Please ask us questions. Give us your thoughts and comments. We appreciate it. Guys, a fun time chatting with you. I'm super jealous I missed the desert with Brandon and the casino with you guys. I would have had fun, but I'm glad you guys had a good time together, and it was fun to hear all the stories.
It's good seeing you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Really good
Thanks
time.
for having us,
Thanks for
Shane.
coming on, guys.
Shane, thanks for having us, Shane.
Thank you.
Yeah, good night, Shane.
You're so welcome.
Sweet dreams.
All right, guys. Hopefully I will see all of you Memorial Day weekend at the ICCC, and let's see where else we can meet up in the future. But great to have you on the show, and we'll hope to have you back.
Thank you.
Anytime. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. This is the 5 Idiots Talking Toys. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Check us out at 5idiotstalkingtoys.com for all of our links, our socials, and our merch shop. You can grab a hat, a t-shirt, a mug, whatever you would like from our shop there. And of course, you can collect with us. Chris would love to sell you collectibles at rogue5toys.com. All right, folks, have a great night, and we will see you next time on 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Bye, Victor.